I'm just having a quick jump on to sort of give a little bit of a background really to Soul Garden and to why I created it. And as you've probably noticed, I have again changed the logo and the branding for Soul Garden, both on social media and the website. That's because I didn't feel that what I'd already created was resonating with what it is that I want to give out to the world. And I want to be able to help people who are going through loss and suffering with all the emotions of grief, and help them find themselves again. I was very lost when I lost my husband back in 2016, and this is how I sort of came to Reiki, and I came to wanting to give this back to people. Hence why I started Soul Garden. And I didn't feel that, although I am helping people through the Reiki and the card readings, it's not directed at the group of people that I would really, really like to support. So for me, Soul Garden is open to men, women and children of all ages. I want to be able to help all people overcome any kind of grief or loss or trauma that you may have suffered with throughout life. Grief doesn't have a time limit. It comes and goes. Some days are better than others. And it's a really, really lonely place to be. And friends and family, however well-meaning they are and however much they say they'll support you, it goes away for them. And that support soon disappears. And when you're not wanting to go out and meet people and socialise, them offers soon dry up. And it's really hard, I found, when I was going through it, to reach out for that support. I didn't know where I could go. I didn't know who I could turn to. I mean, my family were great and my friends were great to begin with. But life does go on. And others sometimes find that a lot easier to deal with than we do, as the ones going through the grief. It's a very, very personal and individual time. And I just feel that there's probably not enough support out there, particularly for families and for children. I have a son, and it was his father that died in 2016, my husband. And it's been tough, and I think sometimes it's harder when it's not just you that you have to focus on to get through the grief. And you sometimes need that little bit of support and that extra help, whether it's just to relax or to find things that work for you, or ways to help support your family through the same grief that you're going through. And I think the other thing that I really wanted to get across was that grief isn't just about death. For me, I want to be able to support all people that have suffered some kind of loss or trauma, so that you can get back to being your whole self again, because grief chips away at you and it takes away different pieces of who you are. And I think for me, I got to a point where I didn't know who I was anymore. I didn't know what I wanted, how to just be in the world. And it took a lot to pull myself back from that. And meditation, Reiki and spirituality really, really helped give me that sense of self back, and it's really brought me back to me and to who I am. It hasn't changed me, I've always been this person, but it's allowed me to embrace that and move forward to a point where I'm in a really good place, and I want to be able to give that back. But yeah, going back to grief not being just about death, suffering loss in anything, whether it's a long-term career or relationship issues. I mean, going through divorce brings on grief, especially if you're a child as well. You're grieving for a process that's happening all around you because your parents are now split. And I do want to be able to help everyone who is suffering with some form of grief and loss and just not knowing who you are anymore and wanting to get back to being happy and joyous and vibrant without feeling the guilt and the shame that comes with that. I don't think grief's talked about enough. I think it's brushed under the carpet. I think even in really close-knit circles, you know, there's not overtly a timeline put on it, but I think people get to a point like, well, you know, should we be talking about this anymore now because it's been months, you know, should we move on? No, you shouldn't move on. You only move on when you feel ready and when you're ready to take that step and when you feel strong enough to do that. And there's the opposite to that as well. You may feel ready to move on, but other people in your family probably aren't ready for that and they don't want you to move on. And, you know, personally for me, that was an obstacle that I came across. You know, I met somebody else and I was really ready to move on with my life, and I came up with a lot of resistance, which caused quite a lot of family rifts. But you have to do what feels right for you in your heart and not have to feel that guilt and that shame that goes with it. So anyway, I feel like I'm rambling on a little bit because I only came on to give a quick sort of background as to why I've yet again changed my branding. But yeah, I want people to know that it's open for everybody. You know, this isn't just for women. It's for men, women, families, children. I want to be able to give out the support that I don't feel that I had, and, you know, help you come to terms with your loss and your grief and help you move forward and find you again, because it's important. You know, life's for living, and we all deserve to live in our truth and be happy, and hopefully that's what I can help you with. So if you feel that this is something that works for you, or you would like to know more about, please get in touch. There's, you know, it's, my door is always open, rhetorically speaking. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for listening to me ramble. Hopefully get to speak to some of you soon. Bye.